Hey everyone, Luca with Pedal Partners here. Today we're looking at slowcore. What is slowcore, more specifically, and the essentials to that slowcore sound. If you enjoy this video and want to see more like it, definitely check out the other videos we have on our channel like this, like what is shoegaze, what is dream pop, and some videos on my favorite artists like Slowdive, My Bloody Valentine, and Radiohead. If you didn't already know, I'm a musician myself. I'm Violet Oscillation. We're going to be playing a bunch of shows soon, but all that being said, all the music in this video is original and by myself, so definitely check out my music if you want to hear more sounds like this, and you can also check out Abstract in Sound. You can support today's music through the links I'll put in the description. You can support this channel, make more videos like this by signing up to our Patreon. You can also buy our ethically sourced clothing, and if you're after a music video, definitely contact me on the email that is on your screen right now. So I just thought I'd give you guys a closer insight to how we make these videos, the background and inspiration behind them. A big part of what we do with Pedal Partners and these videos is audio ethnography. What that is drawn from our own experience as independent musicians and putting it back into the videos. In this video, I'm going to go over the genre of slowcore through my personal listening experience, going to cover some essential slowcore bands and explain the genre. Unlike with other genres, I couldn't really find a geographical center for this genre. So unlike other genres such as shoegaze and grunge, where you can set a geographic start point for mapping out the genre, with slowcore, we can't necessarily do this. This might actually be useful though, because a lot of time with genres such as shoegaze and grunge, bands will get lumped into a scene just because of their geographic location. With slowcore, this isn't the case though, so we can start to define bands by the feel of their songs, which is a core part of the slowcore genre, and by the instrumentation. There are several key characteristics to the slowcore sound. The bands do have diverse influences, and these influence the sonics. Slowcore and sadcore are sometimes used interchangeably, and so that's why we find bleak lyrics in slowcore songs, although slowcore songs tend to be more instrumental than their sadcore counterparts. As with other genres such as shoegaze and dream pop, vocals are used by slowcore bands as a textural layer. Slowcore bands often use repeated motifs, whether that be ostinato guitars or vocal parts. In my research on the genre, I've had a lot of people describing the minimalist nature of the music of slowcore. One important element though that I feel that is lacking from the slowcore discussion is the lo-fi nature of the music. A lot of slowcore bands implement lo-fi elements, whether that be through recording techniques or the tone of a guitar. And last but not least, we shouldn't forget the slow nature of the genre, which is where it gets its name from. Slow tempos, downbeat melodies, and just reflection in the lyrics. Melodic reflection. Oh, that's a nice phrase there. Melodic reflection. The music is very slow, and hence it just brings out reflection in the listener. The genre began in the early 1990s as an act of rebellion against the aggression of grunge, and whilst grunge was going mainstream, indie artists sought out refuge in slowcore, trading distortion pedals for slow, downbeat tempos. This can be traced back to bands such as Low, who began experimenting by playing quietly and slowly in front of traditional rock audiences. So slowcore is a very niche genre, right? Well, within that niche genre, there is just a million different types of slowcore. So if you're going to map out slowcore as the branches of a tree, I guess you'd start at popular music, you'd then go down and branch off to indie/alternative music, then down to slowcore, And then within slowcore, there's just a bunch of different things, and I'm going to go over all of them right now. Let's start with classic slowcore, bands that are slowcore in its purest form with minimal intervention or influence from other genres. Here we have bands such as Low, Bedhead, and Carisha's Weird. Over 3 albums, each released 2 years apart, Bedhead present the listener with something that can be described in no other way than sleepy sounds. Sparsely arranged guitars with low, almost whisper-like vocals, the band were active between 1991 to 1998 before forming The New Year. Carisha's Weird purposefully misspelt the word weird in their name. This is all you need to know about the band's thoughts on convention, grammatically or musically. The band used layered vocals as the primary texture of their music, on albums such as You Should Be at Home Here and songs about leaving. Sparse piano arrangements complement equally sparse guitar arrangements, filling in gaps within the audio spectrum like shooting stars in the night sky. One part on Low's Lullaby is a muffled speaking arrangement, like that coming from behind a wall or perhaps beneath a basement in the cellar if you're from Oxford. That was a classic venue, and it's a shame it's gone. Let's bring back the cellar. I think I've said this in a video like a year ago. Bring it back, lads. The song is hypnotic with vocal parts randomly repeating and intertwining with the melodic arrangement. Low redefined the word slow, with this very slowness bringing out a trance-like state in the listener. The sparsity of Low's music and that of other slowcore artists leaves room for the listener's imagination to create worlds within the music. The slow tempos on Low's I Could Live in Hope album almost slow time itself, with the calming nature of the music creating a time vortex for those listening. Just in case you forgot, you are listening to Pedal Partners. So the next section is going to look at slowcore bands inspired by and incorporating dream pop and shoegaze elements. Some bands I would include under this segment include bands that have influenced the slowcore genre such as Galaxy 500, some actual slowcore artists such as Hope Sandoval and the Warm Inventions, but also shoegaze and dream pop acts that incorporate slowcore elements in some of their songs. And for this, I would look at Beach House's incorporation of slowcore elements on albums such as Depression Cherry, which is literally, that's the most slowcore album name I could think of, and also bands like Slowdive. Galaxy 500's On Fire is considered by many to be one of the first slowcore albums. Released in 1989, the album's signature sound includes repetitive guitar phrasing, stripped-back percussion, and a tinny confessional vocal style. The album stood as the structure from which the slowcore genre would be built. While later bands wouldn't seek to replicate these sounds exactly, this is a great starting point for understanding how the slowcore genre was then built up, with later bands adding the substance to this framework to create the slowcore genre. Cross-pollination occurs between the slowcore and shoegaze genres with slowdive. A point I often hear raised is slowdive's dagger really shoegaze? My answer usually is that in any genre can we truly say that an artist solely focuses on a singular genre within their music, and so here we can link slowdive to slowcore potentially. Songs such as Dagger, Altogether, and Sleep could be considered to contain slowcore elements, slow down tempo music with reflective lyrics. Hope Sandoval and the Warm Inventions is a slowcore act I really enjoy. It's a side project of Mazzy Star's Hope Sandoval and My Bloody Valentine's Koma Kozik. The result of combining artists who arguably define their respective genres with their other bands, Hope defining dream pop with Mazzy Star and Koma shoegaze with My Bloody Valentine, results in a sound that you would expect, ethereal vocals carried by dreamscape textures. Another genre that I really enjoy that crosses paths with slowcore is post-rock. Bands such as Codeine and Duster implement post-rock elements to the slowcore genre. Slowcore sparse arrangements are similar to post-rock's quieter moments. On Codeine's D, the listener is met by staccato guitar lines and stripped-back drumming before the band singer, Steven, interjects with the line, "I want you to need me," reminding us it is slowcore we're listening to after all. Duster are the first slowcore band I listened to, unless I guess you count me seeing low support slowdive. The band fused space rock elements with slow melodies. The guitar is very much king on their album Stratosphere. Lo-fi melodies the centerpiece. If you don't believe that slowcore is well and truly back, go check out 2022's Together. Hood are another slowcore act that implement post-rock elements. Unlike the other bands I've mentioned today, they're not from the US, but from the UK. 1998 release Rustic House's Fallen Valleys utilizes affected vocals and spoken parts over looping guitar melodies to craft an album very much grounded in the downtempo world of slowcore. Despite being a relatively small genre, slowcore has found mainstream success with acts such as Cigarettes After Sex and Lana Del Rey implementing elements of the genre in their mainstream music. Like other great 90s alternative genres, slowcore has witnessed a resurgence in the 21st century. And often people are just like, oh, how can this happen? How are these genres coming back? Well, I tell you. Oh, number one, these genres are just great music. Genres like shoegaze and slowcore are a great antidote to a lot of modern overproduced music. Does a top 40 chart still exist, Lance? I don't know, I haven't listened for like 10 years. Secondly, we can look at socio-economic situations. So genres like shoegaze and slowcore. Shoegaze translates hardships into noise, I guess, and slowcore translates it through those super sadcore lyrics. So what I mean by this is, obviously we've just been through a lovely, does YouTube censor the word a global situation, so that hasn't been too fun, so that's affected things for this generation. And even before that, just to get a house nowadays, it's like $500,000 for like a one bed. So there is a possibility that you could link the resurgence of these genres to the socio-economic factors surrounding us in 2022, baby. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you can support us in a million different ways to continue making videos like this. Definitely check out our Patreon. You can leave a like and even a special thanks on our YouTube channel now. And definitely check out our music and my visual work. I am now open for commissions for the first time in 2022. I feel I've really been growing as an artist, both musically and visually. So I definitely would love to speak to more of you and get to work on more projects. See you soon, and look out for my debut single coming soon if you enjoyed the music in today's video.